like, I didn't remember it being that light. So when I was trying it on, I was like, I don't remember it being this light when I was testing this out. Like, did they switch up the colors on me without letting me know?
Okay, drop that. Yeah, feel the funk, y'all. Yeah, feel the funk, y'all. Yeah, they laid back in the cut. What's up? What's up?
Hello, my doves. Welcome back to my channel. I am so stinking excited. Like, I can't even, like, I have no words. Well, I have lots of words, but I'm just like, yes. Okay, so you probably already know from the title and all that jazz, but I have not been able to talk about this for a good 9 months to a year, I believe. So here in Australia, for my non-Australian viewers, I live in Australia and I have been working with a brand, an Australian brand called Designer Brands, and they asked me to give them some feedback and to try out their new darker shades. In terms of formulation, color, shade names, things like that. They wanted my full input. So for the last year or so, we've been going backwards and forth, talking about these foundation shades, and I can finally reveal to you guys the shades and try them on my face. Now, Designer Brands is a brand that I've always kind of seen on the periphery, in that, you know, in my younger days of makeup, their powder, their pressed powder, one of the first powders that I ever used. And I don't talk about them a lot on my channel, only because I find that they don't really cater towards me. And I want to promote brands and, you know, collaborations where they see darker shades as a priority, and Designer Brands have never done so in the past. Their foundation, they only had 6 foundation shades to start off with, and no tea, no shade, honey, but 6 shades. No, it's just not gonna, it's not gonna cut it in this day and age. They need to step up their game. So I, you know, with my big old mouth, yes, I have some opinions. I made a comment on their Instagram post. Put the post on the screen somewhere here, y'all, because I was salty as heck. Like, no, you know what I mean? Like, this is not good enough. And they asked me to check my DMs because they had DM'd me, and I spoke to Viv and Amanda, part of their PR and marketing team, and they asked me if I would be interested in basically giving them advice on darker shades. So I was like, oh yes, like, really? Don't quote me on this, please, y'all, don't quote me on this, but I think that Designer Brands is the first Australian drugstore brand, not high-end, because, you know, we do have Napoleon, Prudesse, I think they're Australian, release darker shades for, you know, for dark people. I think they're the first. These are the 3 new shades. This is in their Longwear 24-hour full coverage with SPF 15 formula. They have, well, I think 4 formulas actually, but they only extended the range of shades in 2 formulas. So we've got the Longwear one, which is the one that I'm going to be trying out for you guys for a full day wear test. I do have the Luminous one, but that's going to be in another video. I'm going to do a full face of Designer Brands for you guys using the Luminous one. This is one of the #1 selling, like, favorite foundations, like holy grails here in Australia. It is very, very popular, and I think it's also like their best seller. I mean, it just says 95% agree. It doesn't cake, flake, or feel heavy. So I can finally be part of that 95 if I agree, that is. But yeah, this is exciting. This is very, very exciting. Okay, so let's just go into a little bit about the foundation itself. There is some information on the bottle, but there's also more on the Designer Brands website. So there are 12 shades. There used to only be 6, so 6 of those shades are new. Of those 6 new shades, 3 of them are for darker skin tones, which are the ones I've got in front of me here. So a little description about this foundation. So it effortlessly glides onto skin for a flawless complexion, full smudge proof coverage that doesn't cake, flake, or feel heavy. It does have skin loving ingredients like peptide infusion to help plump and firm skin, vitamin C and E that helps reduce visible signs of aging, aloe vera extract to leave skin feeling soft and smooth, and it has no talc, no bishmash or parabens, and it's suitable for all skin types. It is cruelty and vegan friendly. It says here to use it, you just blend using a brush, sponge or fingertips. So there you have it. The 3 shades that I helped with are 291 Deep Honey. Deep Honey is described as just warm undertones. Then you've got Light Coca, which is 292, and that's described as cool undertones. And then you've got Deep Coca, which is described as neutral undertones. So I'm just gonna go ahead and swatch these on my face. So the first one I'm trying is Deep Honey. Next I'm gonna try is Light Coca. Obviously I feel like, you know, that is a huge jump between the shades. Definitely, I can see that. And then the last shade is Deep Coca, really dark. I'm gonna try Deep Honey all over my face and just see what it looks like. I'm not sure how it's gonna go. I think it's just that tad bit light. I'm gonna do half a face with a beauty blender and half with a brush. Okay, I'm gonna start off first with putting on my primer that I normally prime with. So I usually pop Magical Moringa around my nose. This primer helps to basically keep my foundation around that area, and it also prevents my oils from coming through. And then just using a dry beauty blender, I'm gonna go in with, what is this, Vitamin Enriched face base, and I basically put that everywhere else. I just find that hydrating my face with like a primer hydrator works the best for me, because I've got combo skin. I've got an oily T-zone, hence why I use Magical Moringa, and I've got normal to dry everywhere else. Okay, so we're gonna take Deep Honey. It's got the perfect undertones to me. As you can tell, I have quite yellow, golden undertones, sometimes olive, like sometimes I run a little bit green. I love that. Now that was only one layer, probably like about half a pump. I'm gonna go ahead and do this side as well. And I'm gonna go in with the beauty blender. And that's the sponge side. So there you have it, guys. This is only one layer. We've got this side here, which was the brush side, and we've got the left side, which is the beauty sponge side. As you can see, it matches my chest perfectly. Like, this is my shade, and I was a bit worried it was a little bit too light, but no, when you blend it out, it evens out all my skin tone, and it literally looks like my skin. Like, I love it. I love it. It looks so good. Well, I did help to formulate the shade, so yeah, there's gonna be a shade for me. But it looks like skin. It actually looks amazing, guys. So this is what 1.5 pumps look like. I put one full pump on my face, and then I went in half a pump into areas that I felt like it needed a little bit more coverage, and that's what we are currently sitting with. It looks amazing. Maze, so good. I'm so happy with that. So I'm gonna go ahead and, you know, do the rest of my face, my eyes. I am actually filming another video within this video for the Allen's Lollies X Sports Girl eyeshadow palette. It's been sitting in my collection for a good 2 to 3 weeks, y'all, and I really want to review it so that I can show you guys this amazing palette. Well, I feel like it's going to be amazing. Like, it's got some deeper shades in there, it's got some awesome glittery shades, it's got some actual glitter shades, so yes, can't wait to get into that one. So I'm going to go ahead and do the rest of my face, and I'll be back with you guys with a full beat, and we can discuss a bit more about this foundation. It will probably also be my first hour check-in, because it will probably be about an hour for me to do all that, but I will let you guys know how it wears. Yeah, so I will be back. Hey guys, I'm back. I'm here to let you guys know that it's actually been 3 hours since I put this foundation on my face. I didn't show you guys a clock earlier, so you're just gonna have to take my word for it, but I did go ahead and film another whole video in that time. I started editing and I was like, wait a minute, I've got to do a check-in. So check-in number 1, as you can see, it's looking pretty flawless. Like, I'm just gonna get a mirror amongst all this stuff, and you guys, it looks so stinking good. It's not setting into fine lines. I don't see any oil coming through at all at this point. I mean, it's only been 3 hours. I don't see any separation. I don't see any fading. It looks really, really good. I kind of want to show you guys, I don't know how many hours I'm going to do this to. Maybe 6, maybe 8, just depends. I'm going to try and get to 8, but I'll do a check-in at 6 o'clock and I'll give you my final thoughts then. But it's looking really good at the moment. I hope you like this foundation. I think it looks so good. The color match, I think, is spot on. Like, it looked lighter than what I was expecting, but it's looking really good right now. And also, if you're wondering what's on my face currently, I just filmed my New Year's Eve video for you guys. I feature I do a kind of mini review on the Allen's Lollies X Sports Girl Beauty Chocolate Freddle Eyeshadow Palette, and this is the look that I came up with. It's a little bit more of a chatty kind of, not get ready with me, but there's a little bit of my thoughts in there for you guys, and I end up doing this look for you guys. So if you want to see this eye look, I will link it over here for you guys and in the description below. I'm not sure which video is going to come out first, depends on which one I edit first, but it might be the Allen's Lollies one that will come up first, so I'll link that. Anyway guys, I will be back for, this is the 3 hour, so I will be back at the 6 hour mark, and I'm not sure whether we'll stop it there or whether we'll keep going, but yeah, stay tuned, I'll be back soon. Hi guys, welcome back. It has been 10 hours. Now, there's no point me showing you a phone because I forgot to show you the time when I first started, but trust me, it has been 10 hours. It is currently 10 o'clock at night, just hit past 10, so I've come back for a final check-in and for my final thoughts. Alright, so I'm just gonna zoom you in a little bit so you can see a kind of comparison to how it looked like when I first applied it. Now, I just want to quickly do a transfer test. I have clean hands. And as you can see, no transfer. So it's actually like, it's set. Like, it's set so easily, so quickly. Anyway, so after that, I'm going to do an oil control test. Now, as you can see, there's only a little bit of oil coming through around my nose. You can see how shiny it is right there. Same goes to this side. My T-zone's okay. Little bit of oil coming through, but after 10 hours, my oil is only just starting to like literally peek through. The only other foundation of mine that has lasted this long, like to the 10 hour mark, is my Lancome Tint Idol Ultra Wear 24 hour foundation. That is the only other foundation that I have in my collection that can last 10 hours before the oils start to come through. Normally I would see my oils coming through from about the 6 hour mark, but I got to the 6 hour mark and there was no change from the 3 hour mark. So I was like, really no point in doing a, you know, check-in here. I'll get to 10 hours and I'll do it then, because it looked like it was going to behave a lot similar to my 10 Idol Ultra Wear from Lancome. Now I did do a wear test on that, but I never posted it. I wasn't happy with how like it turned out, and like I missed important information, and back then I didn't know how to edit that in, and yeah. So if you want me to do a wear test on that foundation, there's probably stacks and stacks of it here on YouTube. Comment down below and let me know, because that's a foundation that I absolutely adore and love, and I don't think I've actually worn it on camera for you guys, like my shade. So if you want to see it, let me know down below. Anyway, so one of my lovely subscribers commented in in a previous video of mine about the Ray Morris Invisible Face Powder. She wanted to know if I could use it again and do a flash test. Yes, she wanted a flash test to see if it has flashback. So Daniela, I'm gonna try and say your last name, girl. I'm sorry if I get this wrong. Daniela Gutierrez? I think that's how you say your name. Anyway, so I'm gonna put on the Ray Morris Invisible Mattifier Invisible Face Powder for you guys, and I'm going to use this to basically blot and take away the oil that I currently have on my face. And I'll do one half and you can see basically what the oil control is like. Pick it up there, and I'm gonna blot this side. Alright, so oily side, not oily side. For you, girl, I'm going to now basically, you know, powder my whole face and take a flash test. Definitely got rid of the shine. As you can see, there's no more shine. And just how she requested, I'm going to quickly take a flash test. Okay, so there's a photo up there. I've just had a look at it and I see a little bit of flashback underneath my eyes and kind of my forehead a little bit, but I think that's from my setting powder. So not the Ray Morris one, girl. I think it's from the flower powder by Beauty Bakery, because that's what I use to set my under eye and my kind of T-zone area. So I think that's what's flashing back, because I put this everywhere. As you saw earlier, I put it all over my face, concentrated it around my nose because that's where it was most oily, but I did kind of sweep it everywhere. So if it was this that was giving us flashback, it would be my whole face. Like I would be looking like Flashback Mary. Like I'd be looking really like, it would look really bad if it was this. So I can safely say that this does not give me flashback, but the Beauty Bakery that I use underneath my eye does, which is interesting because I didn't know that. I don't know if anyone else had that problem. Let me know if you had a problem with the Beauty Bakery powder flashing back on you. Let me know in the comments down below. You ask and you shall receive if it's within my power to do so. So there you go, girl. Let's continue. Does this foundation have a oil controlling properties? I think it does. The fact that it took 10 hours before my oil started coming through tells me that there's some kind of oil control in there. It doesn't advertise as being oil control, but it does, I feel, have those properties. So I did this side with the, I did this side with the brush and this side with the beauty blender. I seem to like the beauty blender side just a touch more, but having said that, I like the brush as well. So realistically, you can do whichever one you want. It does say in the how-to that you can use a brush, blender, or your fingers to blend it out. It works all three ways, and I can attest that it worked all three ways. In terms of finish, it virtually looked identical. Like I couldn't see really any difference. With the beauty blender or sponge, beauty sponge side, I saw it looking just a tad more skin-like and natural, whereas with the brush, it was a little bit more full coverage is what I would say. The other day, it felt quite comfortable. There was I didn't feel like I had anything on my face. Right now, after 10 hours, I still don't feel like there's anything on my face. Like it feels so lightweight, and it might feel like I'm really, gaslighting this foundation because I had a hand in, creating the darker shades, but honestly, This foundation is a holy grail. Like, it is well known here in Australia to be, you know, one of Australians' favorites. The fact that they extended their shade range is amazing. I think they could have done more. I'm not gonna lie, no tea, no shade, but there could be more shades. But I wouldn't be surprised if they're working on increasing the shades depending on how well received these, you know, extra shades are. So I wouldn't be surprised if there's more shades coming. I want to see some darker shades in their Velvet Matte formula because I love matte foundation, so I would love to try that formula out as well. So hopefully they release darker shades within that formula as well. Now, did it oxidize or change color or stay true to color? I think it went a little bit darker. It looked quite light, kind of pumped on my, you know, palette thing, and then on my, like, when I dotted it on my face, it did look quite light. So I wouldn't say that it oxidized, but I would say that it dried down darker. And I think this formula is made to dry down a little bit darker, which is one of the reasons why I went for deep honey instead of light cocoa. Light cocoa, you would have seen earlier, was brown. Like, it looked very rich on me, but it didn't have quite the right undertones, whereas deep honey had the more correct undertones. And I knew that it does get a little bit darker on, like, it does dry a bit darker on me when I was testing these shades out, so I was kind of expecting it to do so. Like, I didn't remember it being that light, so when I was trying it on, I was like, I don't remember it being this light when I was testing this out. Like, did they switch up the colors on me without letting me know? Now, I can't see any fading or lifting, shifting, cracking. I don't see it settling into fine lines. In some of my other foundation, you know, wear tests, I'd get it settling into my lines right here. It's not doing that at all. I've lost some around my mouth. That's because I've been eating, which is expected, you know, because, you know, food on your face. So have I mentioned the price? Not sure if I did earlier, but this goes for $16.99 AUD, and I think that's an awesome price. I think $17 puts it in the drugstore range, and for it to have basically the same manpower, performance and ability as an $80 foundation, that is the Lancome 10 Idol Ultra Wear, I am blown away. Like, I am just like, wow. So yeah, that's everything I've got to say about this foundation. I'm really quite impressed with it. I'm just so excited I can talk about it with you guys and just share a little bit about my experience with it, and it was so positive. I feel very privileged to be part of the process and getting a better understanding of just how long it takes for foundation shades to actually get on the market. Like, this was like 9 months plus to a year worth of work. Like, it was a long process, and they really did take into consideration my suggestions, which was awesome. So I had a very positive experience, and I can't thank Viv and Amanda and the Designer Brands team enough for just giving me the opportunity to work with you guys. So it's been so good. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, let me know with a thumbs up. If you didn't, let me know with a thumbs down. Whichever it is, we cool, okay? So I will see you guys on the next video. Take care. Bye.
I'm 100 and I'm getting it. Como Lomo, luxury.